work hard, I train hard, and I'm the best.
The USBU Super Featherweight Regional Champion, fighting out of Chesapeake, Virginia.
I have championships in boxing, I got championships in MMA, so you know I can fight.
Reggie Barnett Jr.
Hey there, Love MMA fans and bare knuckle boxing fans. I am honored and privileged to have boxer Reggie Barnett on the show today. Reggie, you are an amazing fighter. I didn't realize, I was looking up some of the stats today. You're 13th ranked out of 19 active Virginia pro bantamweights. Wow.
You know, I didn't even know that I was ranked amongst the pro bantamweights, so thank you for informing me. I love to fight. I've been boxing all my life, so trying to make a decent career out of the boxing thing, but bare knuckle is where it's at for me. So that's
good for you.
That's my heart and soul. That's what I enjoy doing.
So Reggie, let's talk about your upcoming fight at Bare Knuckle FC 5 with Rusty Crowder.
Yeah, Rusty Crowder. You know, he had a knockout victory over a bum in the first event, and he's not really that talented. He's not on my level skill-wise. I know he's got a lot of heart and a lot of grit, but he's not going to come and dethrone everything that I've worked for. I'm used to being the smaller guy, and that's okay. We did an interview the other day, and the first thing he said that when we got on there was that I was ugly and that I was too little. And I thought it was funny because I agreed with him. And he's going to find out how ugly I can get and how little I am on April 6th. So I'm really looking forward to putting in some work.
Good for you. Good for you. You know, I wanted to mention this because I think it's interesting to point out that people may not know a lot about the bare knuckle sport, but it seems, because I've been kind of following it for a while, and I do love the sport, and I just wish I could box myself, but I'm not as talented as you guys are. But I remember your last fight was a no-show, but there were several fighters booked. It seems everyone is really afraid of you.
I have no idea why. First of all, Josu Rivera, he was at the tryouts with me when we went for the original bare knuckle tryout. I met him, and he actually hit pretty hard on that punch meter. And so I expected him to show up to fight me, and he talked a whole bunch of trash out of left field, and then he didn't even show up. You know, so that made him look like a chump more than anything, not me. But as far as the backup guy, he said he was coming, and we offered him some money out of my purse, even to cover one of his coworkers' shifts. Yeah, He said, "Well, we need somebody to cover my coworker shift so I don't have to work this weekend." And I told him, "Go ahead and, you know, y'all can take the money out of my purse. I'm cool with that." And he said, "I'm coming. And then he went dark on us. He stopped answering his phone. He wouldn't pick up for the matchmaker or the promoter anymore. So
small but mighty is the way I would describe you, right, Reggie?
Yes, definitely. And nobody wanted to come and take that asshole. So I know Rusty Crowder's going to show up and take his ass.
All right. We are looking forward to that as well. You know, speaking of small but mighty, I read a little bit about your background, and you actually started fighting. You put on the gloves at 4. You had your first fight at 6. Then you lost your next 7 fights, and I think you went into baseball, right?
Well, actually, I had my first fight at 8. But, yeah, I lost my first 7 fights, and I said, I'm done with this. I'm going to play baseball. And I played baseball for a while, and was actually pretty good at baseball. I played AAU ball. I played a little bit of traveling ball, but it didn't feel that inner sensation to fight. I wanted to fight, and so I decided that I was going to fight. That, and, you know, for a while there, I was bullied, and I knew how to fight, but I didn't fight back. I didn't fight back, even though I knew how to fight. And then one day, the switch went off in my head. And I said, forget it. I'm going to give it to anybody who want to catch these hands. And I've been doing it ever since.
You have been doing it ever since. You know, because you bring up a good point, because I find your story itself, your determination is inspiring, because you've been really fighting all your life, battling alcoholism and other demons. And I would like you to share that story with us, because I think it really sets you apart from other fighters and shows your courage when battling these difficult situations growing up as a kid, besides the bullying.
Well, I mean, I think my alcoholism kind of stemmed from not fitting in, being bullied a little bit, and some other personal demons. But I use drinking as a way to cope with them rather than, I guess, in a positive means. I've always been a talented fighter, but the person that I've always beat up the most was myself for a long time. And it took a hell of a battle and a hell of a lot of support from the people that love me to help me get myself back on the right track and in the position that I'm in now, so that I can, one, I get to fight in front of the world next weekend, and two, I can be an inspiration to others and show them that no matter how, as we say, no matter how far down the scale you have gone, it doesn't matter. There is a way back if you really are truly willing to work for it. And I am every day. And, you know, life is not easy. It's a daily struggle, especially working, training, grinding. But I just keep moving forward and pushing forward because I have this dream and I get to live it. So.
Amazing story and really inspiring. I want fighters to listen to this because, you know, with determination and with hard work, you can make your dreams come true. And Reggie is a perfect example of that. You know, you started training, well, actually, you're still training with your dad, but you started training when you were really young, and then I think, you know, you took some time off, and now you're back. You're still training with your dad?
Yeah, I still train with my father. We actually own our own gym, 757 Boxing. You would say my father's the owner, I'm the co-owner, and we work together. We have one of the largest amateur boxing teams in our area. So we produce champions, that's what we say. That's what we do. And that's what I'm going to be pretty soon here, and that's what we do through our youth program, and we build champions. And my father, you know, has always built me to be a champion. And for a while there, I just didn't live to that potential.
But you're living it now. You're living it now, baby. So that's all good.
Oh, definitely.
You're living it
definitely.
now.
And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have him in my corner and his support, especially going into such a dangerous sport as some people would. Because when I initially told him I wanted to do bare knuckle boxing, he said, "What? No, son.
Right.
We're boxers. You're a boxer. That's what we." And I said, "No, Dad. I want to do bare knuckle. This is my calling. This is put on earth for me to do." I said, "I'm so skilled at fighting," and I was like, "Let's just take the gloves off and let me show you what I can do." And the rest is history. The whole world can see what I can do, and I'm going to continue to just leave my mark in the sport.
I relate so much to your comment on that because I don't know, you know, I don't have any bare knuckle fighting people that I met till, you know, maybe last year when Dave Fedlin did his first card. And there's something about the show and the old-fashioned sport and the fact that it's just gloves off and it's just one person against another that just speaks to me as well. And I don't know. Well, shoot, I would love to get back and try and train, but that's another whole story for another day. Before we move on to a couple other questions, you have a very interesting mom, and she's one brave fighter as well. So let's talk about that.
Oh, my mother. What can I say? My mom, you know, had a hard start in life. She struggled a little bit with that, and a couple years back, she got sick. And she's got pretty much end-stage COPD, which is a death sentence. You know, it's just a matter of time, really. And we almost lost her last year, but she battled back. I mean, it was just they were gonna intubate her, which is, you know, I don't know if anybody knows what that is.
I know what
that
is.
Put that tube down your throat, and that's kind of, you know, the last straw for some people. And I was in the hospital with her, and I told her, I said, "Mom, they're gonna put that tube down your throat, or you're gonna have to fight this." And I stayed with her for like 3 days straight, and she fought, and you know, they ended up not having to do it. And she's been in and out of the hospital for, I want to say, about the last year and a half. But she's got her good days and her bad days, but she's still like my biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter. She travels when she can, even though she's on oxygen. She made the trip to Mississippi for the last event that I didn't even get a chance to fight in.
I know. I know.
That freaking blowed for her to make, to have to, we have to go through so much just for her to be able to travel with us, and then me not to even get to perform.
I'm sorry about that. That breaks my heart. Sometimes integrity is not part of the sport, as we say. There are those fighters that have it, and then there are those fighters that do not. And so that's another whole topic for another whole day. Shout out to my girl Jessica, who's doing Reggie's PR, because she told me that you want a bare knuckle boxer from England. Is that true, sir?
Yes. That is very true. I've been watching those guys over there for a while before we even got the sanctioning over here in America to do our bare knuckle fighting championships. And I would like to fight Sean George. I've watched a lot of his fights. He was the lightweight and I do believe also the middleweight champion. I'm not 100% sure what the weight classes are over there in England. But as far as skill-wise, that man can scrap, and that's what I want, the best in the world. I would love to, after I win my title in June, because I am going to win the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship tournament, and I will be the 135-pound champion. After I win my title, I would love to fight one of those guys from overseas and truly unify the title and be declared the best 135-pound bare knuckle fighter in the world. That is the end goal. That is the dream. That is when I was at my lowest point. And I said I wanted to pick myself up further than I could ever go. That's where I want to go. And so I'm going to keep chasing that dream. And any man that wants to get in my way is just going to have to take his ass with it.
Man, I got to tell you, just your determination is so inspiring to me because I didn't really know much about bare knuckle, and I just kind of dove head in deep. And sometimes people say we're stubborn, and sometimes people will say we're thick-headed. But it's not really about that. It's really about the fact that you found your purpose in life, I think, with bare knuckle. And I feel like this is such a complimentary sport to you that you were really made for this sport.
Absolutely. Not even just the fact that I can fight, because there's a lot of people out there that can fight. But dealing with the adversity that I've been through and having this platform to use my talent, I can be an inspiration to others. That's what it's really about. Battling through adversity, pushing through struggle, overcoming. Like I said, I was my own worst bully more than any of the other bullies that bullied me. Overcoming that and being able to perform at an elite level in front of the entire world should show anybody out there who's going through something, who's been through something, that if you want something else in life that you can change, you just have to be willing to work hard enough for that shit. Because I worked so hard for that shit day in and day out. And so nobody is going to take it from me. Nobody on this planet. And that's why I want to unify these belts to prove that shit. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I'm really passionate about this. This is
I'm very passionate about the sport as well.
What I was put on earth to do, and I'm so grateful that it exists for that purpose.
Reggie, before we go today, is there anything else you want to add? You want to thank your sponsors? We got to thank Jessica again. We got to thank Dave Feldman. We got to thank your dad. We got to thank your mom. Who did I miss? Anybody else that we should be thanking?
Of course, first of all, my sponsors, definitely. I always got to thank my sponsors. Cryomax, VA, of course, Match Bout, Think Big, Fight Hits MMA, Gordon Customs, of course, the whole Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Thank you all so much. I'm so excited to get back and, just be around everybody and the atmosphere of the event itself, other than fighting. If you've never been to a bare knuckle event, if you're in the Mississippi Coast area, I suggest you make it there, because it's going to be, one word, epic. That's the only word that I can absolutely describe it. It's going to be epic. No, I can't even explain it. Every time you go to a bare knuckle event, it's like going to that first UFC event ever. I don't want to, make that comparison, whatever, but that's that genuine feel. Because you don't know, but you don't know what's going to happen because it is a bare knuckle event. And you have these men and women getting in there with no gloves on and truly in there knowing that they're going to get hurt and the person they're fighting is going to get hurt. There's no way around it. Nowadays, in some of the other combat sports, it's so technical and so quick and draw that you don't really get the excitement that you used to see. You're always guaranteed excitement when you go to a bare knuckle event. So I'm excited to just take part and be a part of it in itself.
Okay, fight fans, this is, as Reggie said, going to be an epic fight of epic proportions. There's so many great fighters on the card. You can catch that fight, BKFC 5, which is the second BKFC event of 2019. If you're in the Mississippi Coast Coliseum area, down in Biloxi, you got to go down to see that fight because it's going to rock on April 6th. The event will be broadcast on all major television outlets, and it will also be available worldwide from our friends and our great friends at Fight TV. Also, you can check it out on www.bareknuckles.tv. That's April 6th. Don't miss this fight.